every lifestyle, no matter if extreme or not, comes with its own challenges along the journey. And that is especially true for a one-bag life. That's why this video is about all the major challenges that you will face on your own journey towards a true one-bag life. And at the end of the video, I will give you my best tip on how you can deal with these challenges as easy as possible for every kind of lifestyle, even if you're not pursuing a one-bag life. And I will tell you what this has to do with this diving mask, so don't miss out. For all of you who are new to my channel, I'm Sven, just an extreme minimalist with less than 150 possessions, whose biggest desire is to live his whole life out of just one carry-on sized backpack. And if you end up liking the video, don't forget to subscribe and like, but most important, share a comment with your thoughts at the end of the video and join me on my way to a true one-bag life and to find out how an extreme minimalist lifestyle looks like. But let's get started. Everyone, no matter what kind of lifestyle they pursue, extreme or not, will definitely face some challenges and some major challenges along their journey. And I personally think that is especially true for an extreme lifestyle like a one-bag life. And when you are interested in starting a new lifestyle, maybe a one-bag life, or you're already on your journey, it's always good to know what major challenges you will face so you can be better prepared for them. For me, it was definitely the same. No matter if it was minimalism, extreme minimalism, or now a one-bag life, I always wanted to know what the major challenges will look like so I can assess for myself a little bit better if it's the right lifestyle choice for me. On the one hand, I just wanted to know if there will be any challenges that I would personally say would stop my pursuit of a certain lifestyle. So maybe they are so big that I don't want to tackle them because I don't want to waste my energy on them. On the other hand, I wanted to know if there will be challenges, how can I be prepared, I would say be prepared as possible to face them as easy as possible. And honestly, at the end, it always paid off to know them beforehand. But let's talk about the major challenges that you will face on your personal journey towards a true one-bag life. And unfortunately, I think the first major challenge for your journey towards a true one-bag life will be directly at the start. And that is to decide how you want to start your own journey towards a true one-bag life. Because maybe you think you're just gonna donate or sell everything that you have and put everything else just in one bag and then you start your one-bag life. But I can tell you it's definitely not that easy. As I mentioned in another video, that one-bag life isn't about the size of your bag. So a one-bag life can be lived out of a 95-liter bag or maybe a 30-liter bag. But no matter which size the bag will be, everything that you need to live needs to fit in that bag. So I personally think to start the right way is very, very important. And also very important is to find the right way to go step by step on your journey. So you don't need to start by selling everything that you have. Maybe you just try out how to one-bag travel so you know what you need when you're traveling, and then step by step build up, I would say, your own bag towards a true one-bag life. So I think, as I said, this is the first major challenge of a one-bag life, how to start the way. But I can promise you, after you dealt with this first major challenge right at the start, it will get easier. But after some time, when you're longer down your road or down your journey towards a true one-bag life, there will be another major challenge. And that will be the point when you need to start really sacrificing, I would say, on your things, because you after at some point will be at a state where you say you have, I would say, enough for your one-bag life in one bag, but will definitely size down on your bag. And what I mean with that is that even when you found maybe your perfect setup for that moment in maybe say a 95-liter bag, I'm very, very sure that at some point you won't even size down that amount to a smaller capacity bag, like maybe a 50-liter bag. And as I said, this will be the next major challenge to find out what the things you already considered essential can be donated or maybe decluttered, even to go to a lower capacity bag or lower or a smaller bag. So this will be the second point where you need to start making sacrifices, maybe for your clothes, maybe for your tech. And this is maybe a little bit harder than the first one, but as I said, it maybe gets a little bit easier after you already did a big declutter for the first step. But definitely be aware that there will be more to declutter on the way towards a true one-bag life. But even that major challenge is just temporarily, I would say, because at some point you will size down so much that you have such a small bag that I think you can't even size down anymore. And now maybe it's time to explain why I showed you my diving mask in the intro and on my thumbnail. And that is the third major challenge to a one-bag life that you will face on your journey. And that is actually handling with new interests, with new hobbies, and all the things like that. Because even if you're pursuing a one-bag life, you definitely need to have something to do, and you will have hobbies and interests. And at some point in your life, maybe you will find a new interest. For me, it was scuba diving. And some interests will be a little bit harder to get along with a one-bag life, especially when you chose an activity or a hobby that needs a lot of things, like maybe golf or a lot of big things that won't fit in your bag. And that is when you need to think about the consequences of a one-bag life. Do you want to make sacrifices in that way to continue your one-bag life? So maybe you need to adapt your hobby in another way, or you want to get maybe a second bag or something else that you can still pursue your hobby, but not living like a fully one-bag life out of just one bag. So you will definitely face these challenges multiple times on your way because, as I said, you will have new hobbies and new interests in a lot of new situations in your life. So just be aware that even if you're already pursuing a one-bag life, sometimes it is very hard to continue that life, especially with hobbies and interests. And lastly, the maybe biggest major challenge that you will face on your journey towards a true one-bag life is, I would say, the mental challenge of one-bag life. And what I exactly mean by that are different things, I would say. The first thing is that you always try to strive for more efficiency in your bag. So you always discover new things, you inform yourself on the internet, you read articles, you watch YouTube videos about how to get more efficient with your one-bag life, which is, I think, very good, because then you can find some things that you maybe would otherwise never heard of and maybe make your life even better in a smaller form factor. On the other side, you need to be aware that you don't go down the rabbit hole too deep to make everything as efficient as possible, to make major sacrifices that you maybe wouldn't do in your personal life if you're not pursuing a one-bag life. So that is a very important thing to know. On the other hand, you need to make sure that you value your time more than you did before. Because I think most of the time when you declutter your things, you will always declutter some items that you used beforehand to, fight against boredom, I would say, or if that's a word. So you need to find new ways to make value out of your time. Maybe, as I said, new hobbies, new interests, or other things. So be aware that you will have a lot of more free time, I would say, maybe also a lot of more boredom, and that you need to find a way to handle them. And last thing when it comes about mental challenges is the way that maybe people think of you. And first of all, I can tell that most people won't recognize that you live a one-bag life because actually no one really cares. On the other hand, the people that are the nearest to you will at one point definitely recognize or see that you are living a one-bag life because you are maybe having all the same clothes, all the same things for a very long time. So be aware that some of them will, I would say, find it very nice that you do that because on the other hand, it's a very extreme lifestyle. And other people maybe think about that in a different way because it's such an extreme lifestyle. So be aware that some people think positive about that and some people will think negative about that, and that can be a major challenge to deal with that. So just be aware. So as you can see, an extreme lifestyle like a one-bag life comes with major challenges along the journey. Some will be temporarily and some will be, I would say, constant challenges that you have to deal with. But for me personally, I think these challenges are well worth it for the freedom and the independence that you will gain through a one-bag life. And sometimes it can be very hard, even for myself now, to face and deal, especially with the challenges that are, I would say, follow you along your journey all the time. But as I said, for me, it's definitely worth it because you can gain a lot of good things through a one-bag life that are worth the time and the energy you will spend on these major challenges. But now that you know what the major challenges of a one-bag life will look like, here is my best tip on how you can deal with these challenges for every lifestyle as easy as possible, even if you're not pursuing a one-bag life. First, and maybe the most important thing, is that you should do what you're doing maybe right now. And that is inform yourself about every challenge that can occur on the way for the lifestyle you are pursuing right now or the lifestyle you want to pursue in the future. Because as I said in the beginning, when you inform yourself, you get a better feeling and a better understanding of what you will face in the future and can decide for yourself if it's worth spending your time and energy on these challenges, or maybe you would stop at some point if you will face one of these challenges. And if you know what these major challenges will look like, you already maybe have a plan how to tackle them or to handle them, so it will get much easier for you to know how to deal with them in the future as well. And after you know how these major challenges for your personal lifestyle will look like, maybe it's the best idea to handle these challenges as early as possible. And what I mean with that is that you know that there will be a major challenge occurring on your way towards your personal lifestyle that you want to pursue. Maybe you can try just at the beginning of the lifestyle or the point where you are right now to start implementing new systems or maybe something else that will help you along the way to tackle this challenge, I would say, as easy as possible when it occurs. Or maybe you can be very lucky to avoid these challenges all at once if you are already prepare yourself like a lot earlier on your journey. So try to find ways to start with preparation for these challenges as early as possible to make it as easy as possible or to avoid them at all. And lastly, always remember that major challenges always are a part of a journey as well. And maybe not only major challenges, but also the small ones. Because I personally think when you won't have challenges at all, you wouldn't learn everything that you need for your personal lifestyle and especially the journey towards these lifestyles. As I said, you can try to avoid them if you are prepared in beforehand, but I would say definitely embrace challenges if you will face them, because as I said, you will learn a lot from them and you need to try to implement the things that you will learn from these challenges for the future ones that you will face. So definitely know it's not a bad thing to have challenges, it's actually a very good thing, and embrace them and try to learn as much from them as possible. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and like, but most important, share a comment down below with the major challenges that you faced for your personal lifestyle. The next video will be about the easiest way how you can find out if a one-bag life is right for you or not. In the meantime, you can watch my last video where I show you the 4 things that you definitely don't need to start your one-bag life today. But as always, thank you so much for watching and I see you in the next video.